Good morning, my lovies. Hey, it's summertime. And I know you're having fun and you have a little more time at home to do things that you love to do, but also to spend time reading. And one of our favorite things to do is to read the Bible and read the stories about the awesome people that lived during Bible times, and then to realize that God is creating awesome people that live in our day and time too. And people who follow after God and can hear God can be used on this earth in a mighty, mighty way. Now remember, we've been studying about Samson. And remember, when Samson was born, the angel told his father that they were to dedicate him to God and that he would begin to rescue Israel from the Philistines, because the Philistines had oppressed them for 40 years. So they had lived under the Philistines for 40 years, and the Philistines did not treat them well. They were very oppressed. That means they were not free. So Samson had a purpose in his life to rescue the Israelites during this time. And remember that he did until they discovered what his secret to his strength was, which happened to be his hair, which was a symbol of his covenant with God. It wasn't so much just because you grow long hair doesn't mean you're going to be strong. It was because it was a covenant. It was like a promise to God that he was going to fulfill his purpose in life and follow after God. And Samson broke that promise to God, and he told Delilah his strength, and he gave away the most precious thing in the world, which was his promise and his covenant with God, his relationship with God. And so after they captured him, they poked out his eyes. Remember that, how horrible it was? And then they kept him as a slave, and they forced him to grind the grain like an ox would. But if you go, let's read in our Bibles. Remember, Mima loves for you to read in the Bible for yourself, so you get used to seeing it with your eyes and realizing that it is true and that you can understand it as well. Okay, so go to Judges, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Joshua, Judges, chapter 16, and I want you to go to verse 22. Okay, so they had just poked out his eyes, and he's been working as a slave. Look what verse 22 says. But before long, his hair began to grow back. Verse 23. The Philistine rulers held a great festival, offering sacrifices and praising their god, Dagon. Now you realize there's only one true God, and that is the God of all gods, not a false god of Dagon. That's called an idol, worshiping something that really has no power. So they were praising their God, and they were giving sacrifices to their God, and they said, "Our God has given us victory over our enemy, Samson." And when the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has delivered our enemy to us. The one who killed so many of us is now in our power." But was Samson truly in their power? No. God is much bigger, much, much bigger, and he can accomplish and he can do in people's lives just as much as the people allow him to. But he's overall, his plans and purposes are much, much bigger. So look in verse 25. Half drunk by now, the people demanded, "Bring out Samson so he can amuse us." They were going to make fun of him. So he was brought from the prison to amuse them, and they had him stand between the pillars supporting the roof. Samson said to the young servant who was leading him by the hand. Now remember, he could not see. He was blind now. So he asked the young servant who was bringing him before the people, he said, "Place my hands against the pillars that hold up the temple. I want to rest against them." Now the temple was completely filled with people. All the Philistine rulers were there, and there were about 3,000 men and women on the roof who were watching as Samson amused them. In other words, they were making fun of him. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, Sovereign Lord, remember me again. Oh God, please strengthen me just one more time. With one blow, let me pay back the Philistines for the loss of my 2 eyes. Then Samson put his hands on the 2 center pillars that held up the temple. Pushing against them with both hands, he prayed, let me die with the Philistines. And the temple crashed down on the Philistine rulers and all the people. So he killed more people when he died than he had during his entire lifetime. So God heard his prayer. When Samson lined up with what God had assigned him to do, and that was to rescue the people from the Philistines, he gave him his strength back, didn't he? Because that's not possible. It's not possible for a man to put his arms between these 2 huge pillars and crash them down in this huge temple. That's not physically possible, naturally possible, but supernaturally it was possible. And he killed more of the Philistines in his death than he did in his life. And I just want you to remember that his purpose was to rescue the Israelites from the Philistines. That was his original purpose. And to realize that God gave him the satisfaction of being able to move past the time when he failed, when he did not follow God's plan, and God still heard him and allowed him to be a part of the rescue of the Israelites. So I just want you to remember that God can give you strength to do whatever he's called you to do. And even if you fail in it, you can ask for forgiveness and you can pick right back up because of what Christ did on the cross. There is forgiveness of sin and there's no condemnation. And God wants to use you. So never feel like you've messed up so bad that you can't get up again and do what God's called you to do, because you sure can. I love you very much, and I hope you have a fantastic, courageous day.